The year is 2070. The world is ravaged by climate disasters, class division, and war. From a devastated countryside, a nation swallowed by the ocean, a flood of refugees pours into the bustling megacities. They become part of the kaleidoscope of subcultures that are constantly fighting to assert themselves in the overwhelming media buzz. Automatization and AI bring prosperity to a new, genetically modified social elite, while the masses accept a corporately sponsored universal basic income and stream artificial happiness straight from the layers right into their optical nerves. The system, a symbiosis of AI-controlled corporations and states, surveils and herds the masses to the temple of mass consumption. But in a world where everything is connected, hacking has become a new form of magic. The movement anon is linked together through darknets, where the system is beginning to be turned against itself. It doesn't matter if your posse is made up of tech-savvy anons, the nomo-environmental radicals, spaced-out orbitals, hardened crims, or glamorous nymphettes. The world is anyways rushing towards collapse, or towards a new post-singularity paradise. Welcome to Neotech Edge. Activated Layer, Sensei, Sentry PRD, OPC, Pact-district 143, New Kai-Tak, 2070. This introductory mode of Sensei will, with clear visualizations, give you everything you need to know for a quick and painless start in the world's largest security company, Sentry. Hong Kong and the Pearl Delta is one of our premier markets. Here, 30,000 others just like you, from all walks of life, have realized that correctly prioritized security and investigation is a service in demand throughout the middle-class market. You have already been placed in an optimized team of patrol officers, incident officers, and enforcement officers in order to surveil, intervene, investigate, and sentence perpetrators involved in breaches of the law against our clients. The market will be reassured that insurance with Sentry means a safe and secure every day. Good luck, officers.
So we're here, we're going to play Neotech. We've got me and Craig here from Red Moon Role Playing. Say hello, Craig.
Hello, guys.
Nice to see you. Okay, so
and we also got me, Ola Jant, I'm one of the head writers of Neotech, and especially interested in futuristic sociology and gender issues and religion. So there is a lot of those themes in Neotech, and hopefully it will make for really interesting stories. Excellent. And I'm going to be the DM today. It's my first time DMing Neotech, so it feels it's going to be cool. It's
exciting. Be cool. And we have?
Yeah, I'm Jenny, and I'm a gamer. I play role-playing games a lot. I've been playing a bit with Ola, so we kind of know each other. So, and now looking forward to doing this.
Excellent. Yes, we're very happy to have an additional player at the table. We're going to be some interesting dynamics, I'm sure. And Ola has also taken care at choosing some of the characters here that would create the most interesting dynamic, as you called it. So should we introduce our characters a little bit? What do you think?
Feel free.
Okay, so yes, I'll go straight ahead. My character is named Feng Dakai with the call sign Patch. He was born blind on both eyes, but he had an operation and got sight on one eye. His dad was holding a bit back on the money, so he didn't get both eyes. That makes him very fascinated still with colors and, sights that are out of the ordinary. It's like he can get a bit frozen up at things that he thinks is really cool. he he still has a habit of touching things, you know, because he's been blind previously. His other senses are quite keen, and that's what he uses a lot. He has recently signed on with Sentry, been working for a little while with them, now getting some good cash for that, and hoping to get his eye changed for a cybernetic eye at some point. Used or not, who cares, as long as it'll be an upgrade to his current situation. And let's see, does he have a specific role in the team, would you say?
No, he's the support guy. He's like the all-round guy who takes orders and do stuff.
Exactly. But he's a bit socially awkward, but who cares? He gets the job done. I guess that's about it, yeah?
Sure, I'll be playing Nisha Nakarami, who is a very cold, calculating, hard woman. She's been working for Sentry for quite a while and done some things she's not very proud of. Eventually, this caused her to have a bit of a breakdown, and she tried to retire from this life, get away from it, and have a family. Unfortunately, some of her past escapades have come back to haunt her, and she's found herself in a situation where she's had to return to this world where she, while a very capable group chief, would rather not be here. Still, she will get the job done, no matter the cost, as long as the cost isn't that much for the corporations at least. And she will do the job required of her, even if personally she hates every element of it.
Good.
Yeah, and I'll be playing Alex Gunaga. It's a gender-fluid, Pardo-Brazilian Japanese accent medic for the team. Has a bit of anger problem, been known to use the fists instead when talking. When being a bit pressed, the fists do the talking. Yeah, well, been working for a while, been told to keep a low profile and not allowed to go ballistic, at least not while cameras are rolling. Yeah. But also has a soft side. Likes to stick up for the little people sometimes, which it's not always great in their situation. Yeah.
So, you three work as private cops for Sentry. And when we start, you have gotten a call to a place called Choiha Estates, or Choiha. Apparently, it concerns a theft of an organ printer belonging to the company Genetica. This is, of course, theft because you are packed with Genetica, and this is copyrighted stuff. There has not been any confirmed witnesses or identified perps, but the guy who called it in, Soto Ilusumba, wants you to go to Choiha Estates to pick the perpetrators up. You have no idea why. However, there is a note about a closure premium, so it might be that Ilusumba personally has a closure premium with Sentry, which means that he would have the rights to handle things if you catch people who have committed a crime against him. You have a budget of 27,900 euros that you cannot break unless you want a serious reprimand from Lieutenant Yao, your commander, who is not here. Your mission is to find Ilusumba in the tower called Fricka, in the top floor, which is part of the Choiha complex. You need to secure the stolen property and the perpetrators and witnesses. And you shall not do anything to them on the spot, but take them to your OPC, which is your headquarters, because Genetica wants these people. And a partner provision will go to Mr. Ilusumba for catching these people. When we start, you're in your old company SUV, an old, slightly rugged car that's still going strong. It drives on automatic. There's no need for a driver. But just before dropping you off at Choiha Estates, it brought aboard another guy that your company has been calling about. A man in advanced technical glasses called Marcel Babak. And he's apparently an engineer for your company as you leave your vehicle, he's like following you and tweaking your equipment. So this is a new system, he says, just outside an enormous downtrodden concrete complex, swarming with poor Chinese and African immigrants. There is a smell of barbecued meat and wok noodles in the air and sweat and grime. So the Sentry system will have lots of information on your heads-up display. It's an automatic criminal detection system. It will give you a good idea about the people you encounter. He's tweaking your glasses as he speaks and hands them to Nisha.
Just be careful with your tweaking there. You don't need to tweak those things.
No.
I've tuned them.
So this is an experimental equipment that can do great things for the company.
Fine.
Yeah. So you all got it now, and I will turn it on for you. He fidgets a bit with a little machine and gets up his tiny pad and pushes some buttons, and in your views, lots of displays pop up. Text for a bit. Text is loading, and there is a blue screen, but then it starts functioning. And around every person you see, you get a tiny outline and some text blocks that tells you various random stuff. Right now, it just detects everybody as a very slight threat. But there is something in the air, and people are looking at you weirdly from the street stalls and from the mahjong tables.
I touch the glasses and I look at these contours and I think, well, this is gonna make me more paranoid than ever.
Marcel smiles slightly. So, I will be in the car, but we'll need a report afterwards on how it functioned.
I'll leave that to you.
Yeah. Make sure to use it. We need to test this equipment. And it's called Sensei, by the way. You can talk to it. Just say, "Okay, Sensei," and you can talk to it.
Okay, Sensei.
Hello, I am Sensei.
Hello?
I am a law enforcement script. I will help you detect criminals and secure Sentry's Pact.
I have an expression on my face, sort of implying that this seems absolutely unnecessary to me. But I'm interested.
Does my glasses respond as well when he says hello, Sensei?
No. However, you have some displays still working in them, but not the same level. The sound, however, you can hear slightly from his microphone, but only for you who is a bit away, it's more like a whisper, while you hear it perfectly in your ear.
I walk over to Nisha, yeah. So, boss, these displays, are they part of our budget? I just need to know what I'm working with.
That's a very good question.
Yes, it's budgeted for. Don't worry. But of course you need to make sure that your new glasses aren't destroyed.
Fair enough.
That would cost a lot, but you can check with Lieutenant Yao. This is all fine.
Does this mean we get less bullets?
Well, that's not up to me. But you do have your budget for this mission, right?
We do.
And be warned that violence in the Choi Ha estates could quickly escalate. You would be well advised. He seems really nervous for some reason. You would be well advised to listen to Sensei and be careful in here. This is a jungle. This is lawless territory.
This is a jungle. It's lawless territory. Did you hear that, guys? I've never been in a jungle or lawless territory before.
No,
First day on the job.
Be careful. Be careful. He walks back to the car and stops to buy some barbecued meat from a little kid in a street stall, and then enters the car and sits in it, looking at his pad.
Tok, just don't play around with it, yeah?
They look friendly enough.
You get a tiny red flash around a guy, and like an old guy playing mahjong. Apparently he's been in prison for 20 years.
Well, apart from that guy then, but the rest of them seems okay to me.
He doesn't look at you at all. He's winning his mahjong game and doesn't care.
Basically, you know the drill. Let's go in there, test out their new doohickey device, and just make this quick, clean, professional.
Yeah.
I look at Tok.
Yeah, of course. Always professional.
Good. I'm glad I can rely on you to always be professional.
I was standing a bit, just being a bit zoned out and trying these glasses on and off, and and looking at the people in the street, seemingly a bit out of the conversation.
A lot of old crimes pop up in a little bubble at top of each person. It runs the gamut from petty theft to violent assault and murder. But none of them seems to have committed a crime that they haven't paid for already. Most of the crimes are paid for with fines because prisons are not. You don't get any income.
Yeah. Who did we piss off to have to field test these things?
I don't know, and to be honest, I don't really care. I start looking at the building and I start thinking what's the quickest, most direct route to where we need to go.
Yes, Choi Ha Estate is a gargantuan complex of broken concrete and splintered windows covered in graffiti in 10 languages. Of course, you can always use your company. There is a computer and stuff in your glasses. You can always look things up, or even ask Sensei. You all know that the Choi Ha Estate is an enormous derelict complex from the 2030s that has since been overtaken by especially African immigrants and Chinese refugees. It's mainly run by the triads, more specifically the 99K triad, who you actually have a pact with. However, there is also a guy called Ilosumba, an African crime lord, who has influence here, and you have an even better pact with him. The building is constructed in several big towers, basically shaped like three-pronged stars. And one of these towers is called Africa, or Fricka for short. And that's the one that you're outside, where he hangs out. Lately, your pact with the 99K has been breaking down, as far as you know, so you can probably not trust in that pact to protect you. However, again, violence is not necessarily to be expected, but you never know. This place is full of criminals. You know that there are sweatshops and drug refineries it's called in English, and lots of different shady activities going on here. But you need to remember, drugs are not illegal. And you know even more, of course, because probably you've been to this place once or twice before. As far as you know, Ilosumba is out to outcompete the triads here. He relies on the deluge of African workers who are have slightly more money and status in this part of town than the Chinese to back him up as he makes his power move against the triad. The triad, of course, in general is unassailable, but on a local level, you can take over their turf. And as far as you've heard, that's what Ilosumba is trying to do here.
Like sneaking more and more ground.
Yeah, exactly. Subtly, very, very, slowly, so he doesn't provoke an attack.
Yeah.
As far as you know, he resides in the top of the Fricka Tower, in a makeshift penthouse, if you can use that word. But you cannot say what he wants out of this thing, or who it is that he has captured. Probably, though, he just wants goodwill with Sentry. He wants you to owe him a favor.
All right,
that's to be expected.
So it's just a quick question. The pacts. What if we would violate the pact? What would happen?
That depends on the severity of what you do, right?
Yeah.
But the pact is your company rules, plain and simple. And if you violate it, there will be repercussions, right? You might get a reprimand. You might get demoted, you might get fired, or if you break the pact dangerously enough, you might disappear. I mean, if you threaten the entire pact at its core, the companies that are part of the pact will just make sure that you stop being a problem.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So Will, we just gotta get up there.
As for you think, Patch, that you basically can go through the front entrance. This is not private property. This is a housing estate. You can just go in. Be cautious, but nobody has any right to stop you.
Yeah, no any reason to really. So.
Not really. However, Sensei keeps detecting moderate level threats from all the ex-cons and shady immigrants that sit around here playing mahjong and eating barbecued meat. There's a dumpling stall as well, but that doesn't look too popular in these parts.
I'll make sure I have my hot pink SMG ready.
Of course you do.
Of course.
It's almost glistening in the like the slight haze of Hong Kong. In the distance, you see giant skyscrapers, but here it's more. The landscape here is more blasted concrete and graffiti and dirt streets.
I think I absent-mindedly just, ruffle the hair of one of the urchins when we walk past.
He gives you a big smile, and he looks like as if he thought about trying to grab your SMG, but ultimately he opts for just leaving quietly.
Yeah, I wink at him. Just
He disappears in the crowd.
I look like I'm about to reprimand you, but I don't say anything because I don't actually mind, kids.
And I
Okay.
and I look absent-mindedly at the graffiti at the building, really covering it. This is like amazing.
Some of it is actually ads for various products,
That's nice.
intermixed with classical graffiti tags and street art.
Oh, nice.
There are some old shoes that were popular like 5 years ago that there's still a big graffiti ad for.
Well, I like that.
Of course, your augmented reality glasses boosts some of the more current ads, so they like pop out of the wall and becomes 3D.
I don't like that, so I like raise my glasses to
You
be
can
able to
actually
look at
filter
the
it away too with
Yeah,
just
okay.
a short voice command. Just filter it away.
Okay, yeah. I try that. Hello,
Yeah.
Sensei.
Hello.
Can you filter away those ads, please?
Yes, of course. And they disappear. You're not certain that a Sensei should be able to do that,
yeah.
but on the other hand, you're not, because this conversation was in his microphone. You haven't really heard it, but
No.
Tok Tok, you stay on my left. Patch, behind. Let's go in. And I begin to walk to the entrance of the building, making no attempt at all to be subtle about who I am. My weaponry is on display. I stride in as if I own the place.
What can we expect in there?
Nothing. We're going to go up a floor, get a guy, come back down, leave.
I send a glance to Nisha and one to Tok Tok, and I nod and move along.
people watch you, of course, with caution, with a bit of greed and a bit of enmity. The old people continue the mahjong game, but some young ones follow you hesitantly, knowing you won't shoot. You climb a short flight of stairs and reach the entrance, whose glass doors were broken long ago. And you can just go right in. You go into the center of the building, and the three different parts of the building jut out like prongs in three directions. In the center is a tall staircase with old elevators. But long ago, in a misguided attempt at decorating the place, someone planted a huge tree here. When whoever owned it basically gave up on it, the tree grew out of its original constraints and has now been growing up between the stairs in a dramatic fashion. Someone has hung a lot of old war memorabilia in it, so it looks like a bizarre case of street art. Kids are hanging around here, some of them smoking cigarettes or joints, others just loitering about with their hands in their pockets. Most of them look weirdly at you, but a tiny guy, perhaps African, 9-10 years old, approaches you. He wears jeans and an ad display t-shirt whose display weave doesn't really work anymore. So the ad is very blocky and has huge glitches in it. But you think it was originally for Samsung, the company who owns Korea.
Who owns Korea? I don't really pay attention to the little boy coming up to us, but I instead look at this huge tree and the war memorabilia and the street art surrounding it. I'm quite taken by it, resting my hands on my submachine gun, waiting for an order.
I take 2 steps ahead of Nisha and kind of try to meet up with the kid.
He smiles. I'm Ayo. I can guide you around. I can show you everything. There's lots to see in here. For a tiny fee, I can show you everything.
Well, I don't doubt that you would be able to show us everything.
Yes, I
but
can.
We don't need that. Thanks.
Okay, you shouldn't take the elevators.
Because
Because they don't work, stupid.
of course.
They stopped
yeah.
working long ago, but sometimes they start working again. And then the gangs use them, and then they stop working. They can't handle that many people at the same time.
I absentmindedly say, yeah, I think they worked the last time I was here.
You're quite sure they did. But there is a sign on them now saying in huge Chinese characters, out of order.
They might not be out of order. They might just be exclusive for the gangs.
I agree. Can you do anything about that, Tack?
I'll go up to the elevators and I have a look.
Well, the button doesn't seem to respond, but you could probably pry the doors open and see what happens.
Yeah, I'll try to take a grip and get the doors open.
As you touch the elevator door, a tiny window from Sensei pops up and basically tells you that this door is not insured, so you can do whatever you want to it.
Thank you, Sensei. And I start prying it up.
All right. Well, I would say that's a hardcore roll.
Oops.
Well, it's a 10 and a 1, so you can roll an additional die. So you got that's 14. What do you have?
10.
Oh, that's fine then. By a bit of force, you pry open the door, and indeed, there is a huge elevator inside with an old mirror, slightly cracked. There is a lingering stench of something that might be rotting meat, but otherwise, it seems quite manageable.
I turn to Nisha and say, looks intact.
Can you get it working?
You really shouldn't use the elevator.
Why not?
You should go with me instead. I can show you great stuff. By Sensei starts detecting this boy as a relatively high-level threat. There is a tiny red bar around him, but he has no criminal record. So you have no idea why. However, there are certain displays that pop up that you could try to analyze.
You know what? I think that if we do follow you, we might end up in an ambush or something.
Why? I'm just a kid.
Yes, of course you are, but you know, I've actually lived here as well. I kind of know what goes down, so we're gonna use the elevator, okay?
You really shouldn't use the elevators.
I start reading the additional information on the boy.
Roll for Vir, and you get 2 auto dice from Sensei. So you can roll 2 additional die and choose the best that you roll. So keep those and borrow 2 there, and then you choose what dice you want to use.
27?
All right. So Sensei gives you a wall of text. He's an African immigrant in Choi Ha Estates, and he's a young boy. There is no parents in sight, and he has a broken display-wear T-shirt. That's 45% chance of him being a possible criminal offender. Additionally, he has no insurance, which immediately uppens his threat level with 5%.
I'm sending a glance at Nisha, like, why is he talking to the boy? And I'm I'm starting to fiddle with the elevator and.
Yeah,
It's all right, Jack.
Your theory seems to have been correct. It seems like it actually works.
I take 2 steps towards him, and I say, "You better skedaddle. I don't think you'll get anything here."
He seems a bit like frustrated.
I've kind of been where you are, so I know what goes down.
Well, suit yourself then.
Yeah.
And he quickly walks away, disappears into another corridor.
Yeah.
I go over to see how Patch is getting on.
Hey, it seems fine. The elevator actually seems to be working.
Just the doors that were jammed.
There are a few guys are watching you, and Sensei clearly registers that they have guns.
Yeah.
There is something with a tiny thing with a silhouette that's wrong.
I look at those guys and I smile as I step into the elevator.
I'll say, what can be wrong with just using an elevator? We're just going to the top. I think the penthouse is where he was last, so yeah.
Excellent.
And I'm calling after Tok. You coming as well?
Yeah, I'll be there.
The 3 guys watching you doesn't seem about to do anything.
No, I just
of course,
shrug
as mercenary police, you do have a certain threat level about you. You most often don't encounter armed resistance, even though Hong Kong is in many ways lawless.
Yeah, I just shrug at them and follow the others into the elevator.
Yeah, it starts slowly working its way up the 47 floors. But it's at a very leisurely pace, and of course there pops up a tiny like sort of distant elevator music that's kind of grating on you.
That is quite scary in a way.
You could filter it away with other music in your earpiece, but
I absent-mindedly say, it's Patch, not Jack. Stop calling me Jack.
Who's calling you Jack?
You called me Jack, you said it again.
I'm sorry, I forgot you like that nickname.
Sensei registers Nisha as slightly untrustworthy. The yellow square around her has been going to orange very slightly.
I'm like, I make a comment to this. Did you know that you're untrustworthy?
No, that's news to me. Patch.
Apparently, Sensei knows that she failed mercenary operations in the past. You see, at time there pops up a little bit of data about it, but it scrolls past very quickly.
I just stare out the window at this point, tapping my thumb by my weapon, counting the seconds it's taking to get up there.
I look at Tok, see what her looks like. Her what's the color around her?
There is actually a quite good yellow color. Of course, Sensei has access to all the company's data about Tok. So you see a lot of displays and icons you can click about their past. Of course, ex-gang member pops up immediately. However, Sensei doesn't seem to, even though it seems to be processing a lot of data, it doesn't seem to calculate a big any kind of threat level from Tok at this stage.
I smile. I smile wildly at you.
And I turn away.
The elevator eventually gives off a slight ding, and the doors slide open. You have reached, and it has taken you all the way to the mansion, at the top, and the two African guards with openly carrying assault rifles stand about looking at you. One is a woman with bright yellow hair. Another is a sinewy guy who is definitely augmented in some way. His knee joints shouldn't work like that.
I step out of the lift. I nod to the two people.
Sensei again has a lightly red border around them. They are known gang members and both have a history of violence.
Do I believe they are guarding the way to La Sombra?
Yes, but they seem to be approaching you cautiously. Have you come for the prisoners? The man asks.
We are here to speak with Ilo Samba.
Yes, we will take you to him. Come on, quickly.
Zumba? Sorry.
Efficient, I like it.
I look around. Do we see how does this place look? Is it still open and the tree is reaching this far up?
Yes, it is. Wow. You are walking towards a door that will take you deeper into the complex. But right now you are on the balcony, basically, around this huge opening where the tree grows. It's actually remarkable that the tree must have grown that fast, because this building was only built 30 years ago. But who knows what things might have been done to that tree to make it grow.
How do I react to all this sort of street art and the tree and the big things? Does that... What exactly sort of triggers the sort of trip thing?
Well, so I would suggest that we save it for the downtime, basically.
Yeah.
But in the meantime, use it as a guide for role-playing, right? So
right.
Of course you appreciate this. The layers work, right? Yeah. You have a constant barrage of information in your glasses that I can't really describe all of it. But occasionally there will ads pop up and you have so much data wherever you go. But the thing is, you can filter most of it out. Yeah. You can choose what to display. You might have an ad block installed. You probably have, actually. Of course, some advertisements push through anyhow. But right now, the Sensei program seems to be dominating the display, and most of it are various not that interesting feeds from Sensei.
As we start following these guards, I look at the tree and I say, "Hello, Sensei."
Hello. What can I do for you?
Could you amplify the color green, please?
That is not within my responsibility. I am a criminal analysis intelligence. I do not amplify colors.
Whatever. I sigh a bit with disappointment and I continue following.
Can I do anything else for you?
What exactly can you do?
I can profile any person you meet. I can assess the threat level, the crimes they might have committed, and bring about a more harmonious society.
What can you tell me about that sinewy guy over there?
I do not know his name, but I know that he has committed violence. There are scars on his back, and you can see from the way he looks and how he walks and how he stares at things that he has something in his past.
Very psychological of you.
Yes, I was originally programmed to analyze people's minds.
I had noticed this conversation, one-sided at least, and then I say, "Hello, Sensei.
Hello.
Can you identify nearby threat levels, choke points, and tactical positioning that we might need to take in this hallway if it's needed?"
Yes, I will analyze this. It takes a few moments, and then you see lots of lines and arrows appearing. And like in a computer game, you get this arrow in front of you that points to where you are going, compared to where your base is, far to the west in Kaitak.
Can you send this information to Patch and...
Yes, I can.
Do so.
And lots of visual data pops up in your glasses too. An arrow where you are going, and a huge, glittery, holographic sign displaying Ilosumba's penthouse with bold letters and a little star that shines with a little smile on it.
How will that help?
That is not my doing. That is the layers.
Thank you. Turn it off for now, please.
I will. And you don't see the sign anymore. Actually, you just see a white sheet where the sign was.
Like a blank space?
Yes. Of course, it's in a material that's good at displaying stuff, but it could have been any material. It could have been a concrete wall. It doesn't matter really.
Seems to be the man around here, I say to the other ones. Or mostly into the air.
I lead the way forwards, looking at Tok briefly, just seeing how you are.
The guards lead you into a huge, impressive room. Though the walls are run down and not really refurbished, it's like broken paint and bullet holes that of course Sensei immediately highlights. There is a wealth of animals in cages. A three-legged snow leopard that must be one of the last on Earth. Turtles, various cats.
Does Sensei perceive those as threats as well?
No. Sensei it doesn't comment on it, but seems to be programmed only to analyze humans.
Okay.
There are guards wandering about, and various people that might be servants or slaves. Many ethnicities, though the guards mostly seem to be black, Africans or similar. Ilosumba himself is a giant man.
So Nisha, does Ilosumba have some kind of title or something?
Does he?
Not that you know of. How informally though, he's a crime lord.
I reckon he's the usual big hotshot in a small pond.
This is Ilosumba. He's a dark-skinned, very heavily built man with reflective mirror shades and some cogwheel tattoos in his forehead. His hair is in a slightly Asian top knot, and he has a kind of a big beard. He sits on a makeshift throne decorated with various knickknacks. And in front of him are three black-haired women in leather jackets that are on their knees in handcuffs, guarded by some of his thugs. The entire place is like a parody of a king's court, but like a mockery of it almost, because it's so shabby and run down. Sensei displays lots of threats all around, of course. However, Ilosumba himself gets a bright, bold area, and it says proudly that he's a premium contractor. And he got lots of gold stars saying, "Trustworthy, ding, ding, ding."
What does Sensei say about the women on the ground?
It's still processing them. It seems to go slowly for some reason.
I adjust my 5 centimeter long eyelashes to poke out on the side of the glasses because they keep interfering with Sensei. Of course, it's only on one side, because on the other side I would have a I have a big patch covering my eye. I also wear a hat that has sort of a side straps going under my chin. I look like an old pilot's hat. And I absent-mindedly look at the 3 women on the floor and then look up at Nisha and the guards, see what's going to happen.
I go forwards.
The Sensei has finally processed whatever data it was collecting, or she even. So apparently the women are named Demetra, Sifa, and Semfira Albo. From the look, you would assume that they have both an African and an Asian heritage. You don't know for certain, of course. Sensei isn't made to detect that kind of stuff. However, they are all registered as known members of the Anon faction. So they are likely to be tech radicals. But Sensei can't find any criminal record in the past. Just behind the 3 women, someone have placed, wrapped in plastic, the biological printer that they stole. And there is also a little table with printed human ears and various broken equipment, cables and internal machinery like chips, computer chip and stuff. So it's like Ilosoma basically wanted to display what they have done. Ah, you have come. He does bold gestures. All of him is a very bold character. Finally, I was waiting very long. I shouldn't have to wait that long for Sentry.
I apologize on behalf of Sentry. Your lifts apparently need a bit of maintenance.
The guards give very high readings in Sentry here. They are very dangerous. Big red auras, lots of past incidents. Some of them have even actually been to real prison. Oh yeah, the elevators. Yes. They don't always work here. But you can trust that when you are here, you're always under my protection.
Duly noted. Let's make this quick then. Are these the items in question?
Yes, and these are the perpetrators.
Lovely.
So they stole this equipment from Genetica, the Genetica company. I have no idea why, but now I have brought them to you.
You are 100% sure these are the perpetrators. What proof do you have of that? Just to make sure.
I caught them with the stolen equipment.
Exactly where did you catch them?
That is, I do not have an obligation to share that information with you.
He doesn't.
So what? We just bring them in now?
We did catch them actually printing those ears that you see. That is unlicensed printing of Genetica's property.
Oh.
That's a copyright crime, if nothing else.
That is true.
And it could. This is dangerous equipment. We're talking technical stuff here. I don't want these people or their equipment in Fricka. This is my turf.
Well, we'll get them off your hands then.
Yeah, you should also bring all the equipment back to Genetica. My guards can carry it for you. There is some smart gel as well. He hands you some you don't know, like packages basically.
I go up to one of the women in handcuffs and just kneel down for a moment.
One of them seem to be. They all look similar, sort of willowy, rather beautiful, but like many here, marked by a hard life. One of them is definitely a little bit older. She could be an older sister or even the mother, perhaps. The other 2 seem to be twins. They all look almost identical, with black hair braided in complicated fashion. These are these 2, and all of them have like bright, piercing eyes. They look downtrodden, but not beaten necessarily. A bit of defiance in their eyes. So what happened was that they were helping clinics, Ilosumba says, in this very estate, in this building, to print these things.
So they stole the equipment and then printed them?
Yes. You know the triads. If you commit an offense, they cut off your ear. So they were going to sell these ears to people who have been punished by the triads.
I see. I look at one of them and say, "Is that what you were doing?"
Yes, the mother says. But it was me. I'm the mother. They didn't participate. They're just my daughters. Just take me. Let them go.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's not how it works. We're going to be taking you now. If you Do as we say, you'll be fine. If you don't, we'll hurt you. Only a little, though.
Well, what you waiting for?
I'm handling one of the boxes of smart gel as he handed over it, and I look twist around it. Do I know what this is?
You can roll technology. You get 2 boost dice if you ask Sensei for help, or to what you call auto dice. But of course you don't have to.
Do I get an idea of that Sensei would help me with this?
Yes. You assume you could, or otherwise you could just try to look it up on the layers,
Okay.
and then you get 1 auto dice.
I start looking around it, and hello, Sensei.
Hello.
Do you know what this is? And I roll these
Yes.
for my...
Yes, you do. And you roll 4 dice and you choose the best ones, the 2 best ones.
Okay. So the 2 best ones are 6s.
Yeah.
And for what did you say?
And a technology skill. It's on the edu.
Okay, so it's a critical success then.
Yeah, it's actually in the zone. Yeah, she knows exactly what this is. This is a gel that you use when you transplant ears. This helps the healing process. And it is manufactured and copyrighted by a subdivision of Genetica called Medico.
Sort of an ear glue.
Yes, you could say that. However, that's not technically correct. She detects the three women as relatively dangerous. Her appraisal of the physical prowess is not great. They're not necessarily a physical threat, but she nevertheless, for some reason, detects them as relatively dangerous. They have a red aura, but it's not dark red. And there are various displays about. But yeah, all she seems to go on is the fact that that Ilosumba said that they were anon. And otherwise he just analyzes their behavior and how they look.
So yeah, he's making assumptions.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, you could call it statistical probabilities actually, not assumptions. There's semantic difference there, but to your company that is important because statistics pay off, assumptions do not.
Yeah, interesting. So I take the smart gel and I hold it out towards one of the guards.
He packs it down in kind of a small box with that he can carry around.
And then I look at the women and I think to myself that they're quite striking, really.
They all get up willingly and still handcuffed though, and looks still defiantly at you. The 2 twins seem very alert. They look around and seem to perceive their surroundings a great deal, whereas the mother is more. He seems to be thinking, probably trying to worm her way out of this.
Talk.
Yes.
Can you watch these 3?
Yes, of course, sir.
You on them. You help with the device. Mr. Lasombra, thank you very much for your time. Your contribution will be noted.
Yes, I hope so. You tell your lieutenant that he can always trust in me to keep order in the estates.
Certainly. We'll be leaving now.
Yes.
We greatly appreciate the continued protection of our persons until exiting.
Absolutely. Take a drink when you leave. One of his servants pop up a box full of ice and very soft drinks.
I'm fine.
Very well done.
Let's go.
I take a drink and I put it in my bag, and then I.
It's a Mecha Cola.
Nice Mecha Cola. I take the position of guarding the guards with the printer as instructed by Nisha.
I escort the women into the elevator, and I actually go over the restraints, making sure that they are secure, but also I don't want them to be too tight.
They are. One could actually say that they are almost sadistically tight right now. They have bruises, and one of the twins is bleeding slightly from her wrist.
I try to move them a bit so that.
Well, you haven't. Nobody has actually given you the key.
No, that's true.
So all you can do, if you don't want to force them open or stop and ask for a key, all you can do is just, you can fidget a little bit with them and move them around, but so could she by squirming basically.
Yeah,
so yeah, there's not much you can do, but yeah, this is it's pretty cruel, but
yeah. That's it. So.
All right then.
Just wait for the doors to slide closed again.
In the elevator, the mother starts talking to you again.
I take note of her trying to look over the trying to look over their restraints. I don't say anything, but I take note of it.
Sensei has begun registering her as a little bit less trustworthy now. The woman, Demetra, again starts like, you really have to let them go. They didn't do anything. It was all on me, I promise.
Listen, I'm only going to say this once. You're going to be quiet now. I'm going to take you downstairs.
Wait, please.
We're going to...
We can make a deal. I have money.
I put my finger directly on her mouth.
Sensei registers her as a liar. Possibly pathological.
Listen, you're not going to say any more. You're going to go and do as we told you. If you actually give a fuck about your family, you do anything for them, right?
Fuck you. Who do you think you are?
Who do I think I am? I'm the person taking you downstairs.
You are nothing. You're just a mercenary. That's all you are.
Exactly. What's your problem?
You have no jurisdiction over me. You can't do this.
I think you'll find, I lead you very close, that at this moment, I can do whatever I want.
Do you want to roll to threat her?
Yes.
You would do that with boss, I think. Oh yeah.
24.
She backs down. Like she walks into a corner. She still looks at you, but yeah, she's slightly frightened now, and she doesn't say anything more. Her two twins seem desperate. Really, they whisper a little to each other, but they don't seem about to try anything. They are very outmatched after all.
I don't even blink, as I just nod and go, as I said. You do as I say, you and your family will be fine. You don't, your family pays.
You have listened to a special episode of Red Moon Roleplaying, where we play the adventure Rentacops for Neotech Edge. Rentacops was designed by Martin Freud and Daniel Hansson Palm. Neotech Edge is published by Helmgast. The music was created by Proto-U and is used with permission from their label Cryochamber. Visit cryochamber.bandcamp.com or their YouTube channel to hear more excellent dark ambient. Please like our Facebook page and give us feedback, comments, and input there. You can also visit us at redmoonroleplaying.com. As always, a big thank you to all supporters. If you want to show your appreciation and encourage our work, look out for us on Patreon and see if you want to support the show there. We hope you enjoyed this special episode and look forward to meeting again soon. Thank you for listening.